The 10 dangerous foods RFK is in the process of banning. These things that we're going to talk about don't even remotely come close to being food. The amount of money, big corporations, big pharma, big food, the chemical companies, the amount of pushback that he's getting internally and externally is off the charts. Today, we're going to talk about all the good things that he's doing, starting with number 1, getting rid of the food dyes. There's absolutely no benefit to having these toxic colorings in our foods. What's really interesting about the link of cancer is there's this thing called the Delaney Clause. This was something that was passed that prohibits food ingredients found to cause cancer in either humans or animals to not be put in our food supply. Of course, in 1996, there was another thing that was passed called the Food Quality and Protection Act, allowing these chemicals to be put back into the food supply. Thus, the many different things in our food supply that do cause cancer. Moving on to number 2, the SNAP program. This is the food stamp program. RFK is actively and aggressively working on getting rid of the junk from that program. In other words, not allowing you to use food stamps to buy soda with high fructose corn syrup. There's fierce resistance to this idea, surprisingly, from organizations like the American Heart Association, which receives backing from junk food manufacturers and pharmaceutical companies. When this reform was being debated, a representative from the Heart Association appeared to oppose the measure. You have to realize that the taxpayers pay for the SNAP program. What is wrong with this picture? Well, you are paying for this problem 3 different times. You're paying for the raw material to be sold very cheaply, and then you're actually paying a second time paying people to buy those exact products. And when they get a chronic disease, you pay a third time funding the Medicaid program. So I totally back up RFK for getting the junk out of the SNAP program. Number 3, titanium dioxide they put in food to make the food look more pure or healthier in some way. In France, they banned it because they found it caused DNA damage. It has the ability to get into the brain. It's also considered a carcinogen. That's an ingredient that RFK is working on getting out of our food supply. Number 4, brominated vegetable oil. You have to realize it has nothing to do with actual vegetables. It's actually a flame retardant. Use it in soft drinks. That's right, soda. It's considered safe. It's also banned in Europe, Japan, and India, but of course it's allowed in the US. Number 5, potassium bromate. RFK is also trying to get rid of this, especially with children's lunches. It allows the dough to be fluffy and has the right texture. It's also a possible carcinogen to humans. Also, as another side note, it's been banned in 30 countries except the US. Some people think that RFK has the ability in HHS just press a ban button and ban it like that. And I'm even shocked how much he's getting done because he's up against a lot of resistance. Number 6, high fructose corn syrup. Most people know this is really bad. High fructose corn syrup will definitely lead to liver damage, fatty liver, type 2 diabetes, heart disease. I know a lot of activists have been trying to get this banned or at least limited within the children's school system with not too much luck. High fructose corn syrup is 1 out of 4,000 different products that they extract from corn. It's been highly changed from the original corn. It's genetically modified and we subsidize it, which means you as a taxpayer pay for a lot of it. Number 7, seed oils. An average person consumes 25 to 30% of all their calories being these seed oils. These seed oils incorporate themselves into our membranes around our cells, around our brain, around our tissues. They go in, but they don't come out very easily. If you stop eating them today, it's going to take over a year to get them out of the system. They keep the body inflamed, and they create all sorts of serious toxic side effects. Number 8, ultra-processed foods. When we examine ultra-processed foods more deeply, we realize they are mostly made up of refined starches, synthetic additives, and industrial seed oils. All 3 are heavily subsidized. That means you're paying for most of it. The intention of RFK is to remove most of this ultra-processed food from the children's lunches, hospitals, from the senior-assisted living homes. In Arizona, they're working towards getting rid of the ultra-processed food calories from their school system by year 2026, which is exciting. Before we get into number 9, I need to share with you a very powerful free app that I created right here called Dr. Berg Junk Food Meter that allows you to quickly scan for these 3 ingredients in your pantry, refrigerator, or even at the grocery store. You can start really finding out how much of these 3 things are in your food. All you have to do is download it. It's free. Pull up a food, hover over the barcode, and start scanning, and it quickly scans and shows you how much starch, seed oil, and sugar. You can see in this one, there's 19 grams of sugar in this yogurt. Crazy amounts. And there's some starch as well. Let's pick another food. Pop-Tart. Holy macro. Look it. You have starch, 39 grams. Got some seed oils in there. And you got sugar in there. You can see the junk food score at the top is a 10, which means it's really, really bad. It tells you what kind of ingredients that we're reading. Let's do another food. Hot dog. This one has starch. So, there's hidden starch. What kind of starch? They're putting corn syrup in there and modified food starch. Not too healthy. At the end of this video, I put a link down below for you to download the free app. Check it out. Use it to improve your health. Number 9, artificial sweeteners. The difference between artificial sweeteners and sugar alcohols. With sugar alcohols, those are made by fermenting actual natural ingredients. Artificial sweeteners use chemicals like petroleum. They create a lot more damage, like altering your gut microbes. When you consume these artificial sweeteners, it is very addicting. Once you start, you can't stop, but it can cause cancer. Number 10, this is another thing that RFK is working on, which I'm really excited about. Getting rid of this loophole gross, generally recognized as safe. This FDA rule that was passed allows industry to do their own testing to regulate whether it's safe or not. What do you think the odds of a company to do safety studies on their own products are going to say, oh nope, it's not safe. We can't put it out. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you leave it up to the industry to determine if it's safe or not, it's always going to be safe. With no independent third-party credible safety studies without even telling the FDA. I mean, think about it. Trans fats were considered to be safe. Trans fats, the stuff that causes heart disease, that was considered to be safe. In the media, in the news, what you're hearing now is there's no real evidence to show that junk food and chemicals are that bad as long as it's done in moderation. Well, have you ever tried to eat junk food in balance or moderation? The chemicals in there make it super addicting. You can't just have one. The American Heart Association was pushing for, we don't need more regulation. We should just educate people. In order to educate people, you have to have the correct information to educate them on. With all the bias and conflicts of interest, what are you going to educate them on? That junk food is okay. On top of the billion-dollar marketing budgets that these companies have putting out in the media to counter this education, and don't have ultra-processed foods in the dietary food guidelines, because that pushes it into the hospitals, the assisted living programs, the school system, the military, etc. Last point about this topic, about the arguments that they use, well, everything is processed. No, that's not true. They're similar, but they're not the same. There's degree of processing. And when we're talking about ultra-process, just think about the word ultra. Ultra means extreme, way above minimal processing. I just got done talking about a lot of bad foods. I want to shift gears and talk about the top foods that you should be eating right now that should be on your plate, that are nutrient dense, that are whole, that will make you super, super healthy.